Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we sit here to witness something extremely picky and cheesy. Everyone, we have the go-getters, the groundbreakers of real estate business across with us today, and they're going to be sharing a great pack of knowledge with us. So I'm pretty sure that you're going to take back home a lot of knowledge indeed. Without further ado, let's get back to that. And today the first most important topic we're going to be talking about is Decoding Budget 2024, hits and misses for the real estate. And to do the needful, I would like to request the moderator and the panelists to be ready, because now it's going to be the most awaited moment of this day. I request the session is going to be moderated by none other than Sesha, Managing Director, Hyderabad, Savills, India. Can we have you here on stage, sir? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sesha has been responsible for building Savills business in South India. His expertise lies in understanding client needs and a lot more. Well, having an experience of 25 plus years in corporate real estate, project management, facilities management, business transformation across India, he's right here today with us to moderate a beautiful session. Please give it up for none other than our very own moderator for today, Mr. Sesha. With this, I request the speakers, the panelists to kindly come and join us on stage. I would like to start by calling Mr. Shekar Reddy. He is Chairman, CREDAI, Telangana, and past National President, CREDAI. Can you have him here on stage, sir? Everybody, come on, we can be a bit more louder. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Shekar Reddy has been instrumental in raising the reputation and strengthening the stature of buildings fraternity in Andhra Pradesh. Well, with the experience of over 2 decades, he's right here with us to bring in the best of the best. The next speaker we have here is Mr. Rajashekar Reddy. Please put your hands together for him, everyone. President, CREDAI, Hyderabad. Mr. Reddy, managing a partner, Gayatri Group, as the president of CREDAI, Hyderabad, he represents the whole sector. The industry association under his leadership is making efforts in bringing the problem-faced construction sector into attention as well. Well, next up, I request Mr. Mahabir Prasad Agrawall to kindly come and join us on stage. He's the chairman, Koncept, Ambience. Peter, we can be a bit more louder, please. Come on, thank you. The veteran of the industry, Mahabir has been a driving force behind the company's growth so far. He believes in many of the viable things that, of course, the customer is the king, but apart from that, what to bring the best of the best, to give most affordable, at the same time, the exceptional form of work to the clients, to the customers. Next up, I request Mr. Kishore to kindly come and join us on stage. He is the Managing Director, Ramky Estates. Welcome, sir. Mr. Kishore is a seasoned professional with over 30 years of experience. Ladies and gentlemen, higher level management roles spanning across both public and private sectors. With nearly 15 years of experience in the real estate industry, he's right here with us to share his great pack of knowledge with us. Welcome, sir. With this, I request Mr. Amit, Jain, partner, Price, Waterhouse, and Co. LLP to kindly come and join us on stage. Welcome, sir. Well, a true professional, Mr. Amit Jain aims to work relentlessly in every client engagement with passion, commitment, and consideration. Ladies and gentlemen, he specializes in digital payments, and also we talk about the fintech, banking, anti-money laundering, and a lot more in his pockets today. So yes, we have so many people around us today to share extreme pack of knowledge with us. Can we all start this session with a thunderous round of applause? Thank you very, very much. And on that note now, the stage, the mic, the audience is absolutely all yours. To the moderator, over to you, sir.
I believe that this is an opportunity moment actually to discuss about what all the things that government can do. Some of them are long pending or not much discussed, but I believe this will be a good forum to actually recap and take stock of things what's happening and what could be the new government policy changes that they can bring. Just to give a context, like Mr. Nanda also mentioned, while real estate contributes about 10% of the GDP, more than that, this is the largest employer of the country after the agriculture. We are slowly moving away from the agriculture and becoming more and more urbanization. Today, based on many calculations, it will be between 30 to 35% of the urbanization happened. There is a lot more urbanization need to happen, and country is just moving from mid-developed to developing economy. Still, we have a long way to go in per capita incomes. That is where you see a lot of our cities are developing due to people moving in. Even towns are developing. So the government is also giving a lot of importance to creating the infrastructure so that the connectivity between the towns and cities is improved. That is where transit-oriented development can happen. More urbanization can be discussed. Today we have about 8 or 9 large cities, metro cities, but for the scale of this country, this is not good enough. So we need to have probably 100 cities which we can count on. That is where the faster trains and highways and airports, other infrastructure what government is. So since last 4-5 year budgets, in fact previous year budget, the capital allocation has gone up by 30%. This year also we expected, but it has been only 10% marginally we have done. So given the kind of push that the government is giving on the capital spending, which is infrastructure and associated facilities, may I ask Mr. Agrawall first, like how the infrastructure development is going to impact, support the overall industry, real estate and construction industry?
Very new and fresh subject, as the Government of India has announced the interim budget very recently. To touch upon this, I would like to answer a question with a couple of key highlights of this interim budget, weight and account budget presented by the Finance Minister of India. The key highlight factors are that promotion of digital public infrastructure is one factor. Another is housing for middle class scheme to be launched as proposed in the weight and account budget. Then promotion of foreign investments by bilateral investment treaties. This also the Finance Minister has touched upon. Then development of 3 major railway corridor system to improve logistics. Then development of new airports and expansion of existing ones. Then major focus on our sustainable energy. That is, as Dr. Prasad said in his welcome address, that sustainability is also very important. So, government of India is quite conscious about sustainability. So they have made some provisions and very important announcements in the budget, like rooftop solarization for 1 crore households, then e-buses for public transport, then financial assistance for procurement of biomass aggregation machinery, then mandatory blending of compressed biogas with CPC. These are the factors which will lead to the sustainable development in time to come, if implemented with all dedication and honesty, which we believe the government will do. Then, now coming to the answer to your question, that what is the possible impact on real estate sector for all the things which I have just highlighted and listed out from the budget speech. The reduced cost of construction material due to better logistics system and better transportation arrangements. Then prospects for development of middle income group housing and any related tax exemptions. And other benefits in the scheme to be announced by government, most likely perhaps post-budget, post-general election, which is likely to happen somewhere around April. Then focus on sustainable development by increased use of sustainable energy in construction sector. And then better prospect of penetration in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities for the better infrastructure, road networks, which are under huge development process going on in the country. Perhaps in the last 10 years, for the first time, that the road sector, the development of highways, roads, state highways, all is taking place in a very, very big way. So these are the factors which are going to affect real estate sector. As Dr. Batra also mentioned in his welcome speech, that this is the time for real estate sector. If we go by the points which are highlighted, I do believe that real estate sector is going to grow by leaps and bounds. Therefore, currently 9% is the GDP contribution of real estate sector in the country's economy. But I believe it's going to be at least 15 to 16% in next 2 years' time because of the development and growth of infrastructure and government's huge spending on the infrastructure sector, which is the most welcome feature for real estate growth. So let's all get ready, brace up ourselves to participate in the real estate growth.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. So this is about what government has been doing. But if you see, there are many areas where they are left out. Hopefully, in the budget will come. So that is where Shekar, I would like to ask you. The prices of the houses have been going. Construction cost is going. Still, the affordability of the houses. Even Hyderabad used to be known as a very affordable market. For various reasons, the cost of the housing has gone up. Even the size of the houses also are going up. So the affordable housing, in a way that government envisages, it seems to be taking a backseat. The number of units getting sold, developed is reducing. And you have been one of the proponent and advocate for this on the CREDAI platform along with other leaders. So propose to get the affordable housing one of the support areas for the government looking. What do you believe in the upcoming budget and policy decisions government should do to promote make housing more affordable for the mid segment through the private developments?
Hello? Yeah, as you said, the prices have gone up, land prices, because nowadays all the state governments are also greedy to what they want to make money. They are selling in open auction. That effect is there. And the market, private lands also. And the material cost has gone up. GST is as if it's the luxury goods. All the products, the higher side, the GST is there. Wages have gone up. The only thing what is left over is the loan. On that loan component, if the government gives maximum, the subsidy, there is only way out. Now I am seeing that we are actually expecting this budget MIG 1, MIG 2, CLSS scheme. They will continue with a lot of other incentives. Not extended. That was a big disappointment. They are not extended, but they said, as Agrawall said, they are going to launch a scheme for the ownership and also rentals. So we have to see what extent this interest subvention they are going to extend. Like affordable housing, the GST is 1%. Maybe they should extend that. And frankly, I feel, because as a developer, as a leader, I openly tell, Government of India says one nation, one tax. But real estate is n number of taxes are there. I think they should keep away real estate. Government of India should keep away from real estate. See, there cannot be two types of taxes on the same product. You should let them leave it to redefine it a little to state government, charge the registration charges. If you want, you take part of the registration charges. You can demand from the state, you also give me, like GST, you also give me from state taxes also some share. But you cannot charge so many, there is no ITC, the input tax rate is not there. It all coming to more than 1/3, the tax version itself. And how can you ask the affordable housing?
Yeah.
There is no differentiation between affordable housing and the luxury housing. Taxation difference is not there. In even the registration charges, it is not there. In the income tax also. Then as per the came first, up to 1 lakh and above, land, if you construct a particular size of apartments, smaller apartments, your income tax was exemption. So that was taken away. So around here they are adding some more new taxes or making more complicated. In my feeling is, in fact I made it is clear earlier also, the government of India, state government, local body, any department for that matter, they should not increase the naya paisa of tax on real estate without the consent of the regulatory authority. Unless we do that, unless we benchmark it first on real estate, this is a tax. What is the, whether it is a luxury good or a non-luxury good, whether it should be 10% or 5%, now it is 1/3. 1/3 is too high. You know, ease of doing business is happening here. So, fortunately, there is a 2 crores, the PM Awas Yojana is earmarked in the new budget. There is a one thing I can see. Last year we had a jump of about 30% on infrastructure allocation. This year only 11%. There is the full budget. I expect in the full budget, I think they may increase the infra fund. Maybe this time they may be giving towards more to the middle class people because of the elections. I think the government of India and the state government, they should relook into this. Instead of selling of the lands in open auction and making the land non-viable for the affordable housing, they should go in a barter mode, revenue sharing, a PPP model. And not only this state, I'm saying it to every state. I've been advocating this for the last 15-20 years. Unless they stop it, so otherwise they have to, put extend the metro to far off places and create all the social infrastructure and create a zone of affordable zone. So that the people, the LIG, MIG, they can come to the city within 20 minutes travel, something like that, half an hour travel, they should be able to come. But they need huge infrastructure there, schooling, hospitals, security, everything.
So we need a new models of development and promoting the either land pooling, giving some kind of new models of development is
maybe government and give that land also free or subsidized rates or something like that. Otherwise, everybody is increasing the land component, which is almost 40 to 50% of the total value of the apartment. From where do we get it?
Yeah.
See, government was supposed to give roti kapda makan. They have forgotten. The makan they have forgotten almost, except this Awas Yojana, state governments have almost closed down their housing board and housing corporations.
Correct. Thank you. Yeah. In fact, current these estimates are, we don't have those many scientific estimates, but generally, if you see about 10 million houses are shortfall in and it is growing everywhere. And they expect in the next 10 years the housing shortage will reach about 30 million. So going by different estimates. So the number of houses getting especially constructed in the mid segment. So he touched upon some of the tax incentives and double taxation and different things happening. So that is where Amitji, what do you see if you can tell about in bullet points or in some simple way? What are the areas inefficiencies, double taxation is happening, and what should be government doing about the area of this to make it both on the supply side and demand side of it?
I would divide this into two parts. One, first is the direct taxes side. In direct taxes, because the interest rates are increasing, and the interest deduction is still restricted to 1 to 2 lakh rupees, and there is a demand that it should increase to 5 lakh rupees for the deduction of interest. The second, the sir has talked about ETIDA exemption, which was there for the affordable housing, which has been withdrawn now. And even then, if you look at those exemption which was there, the limit is 45 lakhs for a 90-meter house considering the high land prices in the city, can you make a building at 45 lakhs? So there is a belief that this should be increased, this limit of, so even if you bring back the exemption and increase the limit to somewhere say 70, 80 lakhs, in the cities like Bombay, nothing is available for 45 lakhs.
Yeah, in fact, cost of construction, if you put the inflation itself, it was set in 2017, if I remember correctly, 45 lakhs.
45 lakhs,
For
yes.
the period of last 7-8 years, the inflation itself has increased the prices by more than double.
Correct.
Thank you.
So that is direct tax. From indirect tax side, if you see, GST is charged without input tax credit, and all the inputs which is getting into the construction, like cement, steel, everything is charged at 18%, which is adding into the cost because it's not available as an input tax credit, and therefore it is increasing the cost of the construction for the developers. And that is also very difficult for making an affordable housing, because if your 18% of the input cost is getting into your cost cycle, and further you are paying 5% GST on output, that's a 23% delta which is going into your cost, and therefore there needs to be rationalization of GST for the real estate sector, which is required for going forward.
Also, in the commercial, actually, you get more further, even the rental is taxed when it is constructed. So there are many areas where these things happen.
Yes, sir.
But then if you see, Kishore, if I want to come to you, there has been a demand from the industry that it should be given industry status and more affordable funding opportunities and more opportunities to get the fractional ownership, and more way that how industry can mobilize the resources. So what is your take on why this is pending, this status, request for industry status, and what government can do to make the financial resources availability for the industry more competitive compared to more organized, the so-called organized developer sectors?
Yeah, hello. I think first of all, more than the industry status, it is the infrastructure status that the real estate sector has been demanding. And primary among this is because of the various incentives you get, the tax rebates you get, you also funding, access to low-cost funding, which is the most significant factor, becomes that much more easy. I think only for the purpose of ECB, this has been included as an infrastructure, but other than that, real estate still awaits the infrastructure status. So then what happens is once it comes into the infrastructure categorization, there is a priority lending that also happens with banks and financial institutions, and that has been one of the most significant challenge for real estate developers, access to low-cost funds. And real estate being, it's a long gestation projects, and also the fact that the investments are very high. So it becomes all the more important that we access funds, cheaper funds, which will bring down the cost of developing. So just like as you were mentioning, if you were to do an affordable housing and borrowing at 14, 15 or whatever percentage, I don't think that will be affordable in any way. In fact, just to continue with what you were saying, we planned an affordable housing project in Hyderabad, and with that 45 lakh cap, our CFO is sitting here. He was very happy that we can get tax exemptions and all that. So we started this somewhere in early 2020. So now what has happened is, because of the cost escalations that have happened over the last few years, we have ended up losing money in that project. So forget about tax benefits. So it's become lost. So we were not able to sell it at a higher price. In fact, we held on to some of the inventory, hoping that in the last year budget, the price, the limit of 45 lakhs would be announced, so that at least we'll recover some part of the losses, but that didn't happen. So what happens is affordability becomes very, very important, and I think one of the key factors is the availability of funds at a cheaper rate. So that is same thing. It also the access to funds, the availability of funds, not just the cost. In banks, there are so many developers who are doing a decent job, and if you really see the NPAs in real estate are actually quite low. If there are any bankers, they can confirm. They are much lower than many other industries. But somehow real estate has been painted, in a very different color. So I think giving an infrastructure status will really help this industry to grow at a faster pace and deliver to the sections of the society who are actually in need. We all talk of roti, kapda, makan. What is a makan? Look at the quality of makan. We are talking about housing satisfaction of 53-54% in our country. But let me tell you how much of this 53% is of quality housing. That is very low. The quality of housing is very low in India. So I think that is where the whole the transformation has to happen. You look at all the gated properties in all the cities. Now, is it housing? That's not housing. So how do you bring those people into the fold? And that is where I think the institutional gaps have to be closed. Who is there to give the loan to those people? So how do you create a model that helps this? So I think that is where the question is largely unaddressed. And I don't think governments can go on building homes like, well, the thoughts are noble, but I don't think that's a workable model in our country.
Yeah, I think government should not be in the business of building, rather enabling is good enough. In fact, the financial institutional support has been more and more generalized rather than getting more specialized institutions getting built with the capital funding behind support. So I hope this is one area which the government will focus on. Taking a little bit zooming into the state of Telangana and specifically Hyderabad, when Hyderabad takes lion's share of the story for Telangana. So we have Mr. Rajashekar who is from CREDAI, Hyderabad. He is spearheading the cause of Telangana. So if you see, Hyderabad typically has grown over the last 10 years due to IT/ITES boom. Thereafter, several industries, special sectors like pharma, the other logistics, the other manufacturing also they started. But generally there is an impression that the IT-driven development is dominating the story. So how can we get more broad-based development for Hyderabad and also take it beyond Hyderabad? So what is that the government can do, both local as well as the union government, in their upcoming budgets and policy decisions?
Yeah, thank you, Shekar. To start with going into the main part, I want to thank Tripti and Shekar for taking this initiative. 4 years back, they reached us to organize this event. So at that time, we always know showcasing the Hyderabad is much more important for us, the way it is evolving and all that. That's the main focus, like how Hyderabad is like, and the world should know about the growth of real estate in Hyderabad. So unfortunately, it is mother has passed away. Sorry for her, the loss for her, and parents for her to rest in peace. And moving forward, regarding our state, you all know 10 years is too long, but for the last 5-6 years, we can say the Hyderabad real estate has like evolved a much better way. These are totally dependent on the policy matters, where the government has taken the initiatives and all that. Apart from that, no more of like the infrastructure which created, even the pandemic has also never stopped us. When we, Hyderabad, can take the credit of like, when the pandemic, at that time, across the country, the real estate market is going down. But we as the industry body and along with the support of the government, we made it happen like that. What kind of initiatives can help us to come up in a better way? So government timely, the policies helped a lot, and apart from that, the industry totally depends on the employment. Even fortunately for us in Telangana, we have the urbanization is almost across the 47%. The rural people are moving towards the districts, and the districts are moving towards the cities and all that. And majorly, fortunately, we have more than around 10 to 12 major districts are the peripheral of Hyderabad. So that is also helping us in a other way, like more of creating of opportunities and all that. So this is where, and again, as you asked, what help the industry and what the need of the industry to sustain in the long run. So we have so far regional ring road, outer ring road is the very fortunate, very good things happen for us. The growth will totally dependent on us, and there is a connectivity with the ring road to all the anywhere we can reach in Hyderabad, not in just in a 30 minutes time. So that gives more of importance, so like anyone can reach across anywhere part of the city and all that. And fortunately, in the last 4-5 years, the investments, how it has come, around 3 lakh crores of investments have been announced, and all the 30 to 40% have been like on ground. So this is where actually you have to see, when the world is listening to us, I want to convey. We in Hyderabad are totally depending on not only our IT sector. For the last three years, we can say average of 1.4 lakh is the employment being created in the IT. And apart from that, in the industrial and manufacturing, we are anticipating not less than 20 lakhs in the coming 4 to 5 years. That is going to be our strength. We always feel we are not worried about today what is going to happen. We are more clear, positively waiting for the things to happen in a better way for the creation of the employment, and that is need-based housing. Right now, we all are seeing the luxury segment, which is really moving on good. 3 years is the market for is totally because of the initiatives, and the overall India, the market has picked up, and Hyderabad also it has picked up, and it has been the luxury segment where the people, the pandemic helped out. So the thought process has changed. Everyone want to go for a bigger housing and all that. That kind of marketing moving, but still for us, even again I come to the point where it is needed. These the market opportunities of 20 lakhs plus, is going to become. So this is where any state government or central government has to focus. Everyone feels like, everyone said, housing is a dream. Roti kapda or makan, right? No one cares for creating housing for anyone. So we all thought the government comes and go. Why can't they think about this taxation part, how they can cut down? Maybe the cement is supplied, RMC manufacturer will produce the raw material and supply to that. And above that, the customer has to pay the GST on that product. So this kind of taxation, how they are making it impactful, like any common man, how they can buy a house. Even a builder, always they can sell it, and maybe again overdates and all that we calculate. In other way, we try to keep margin. Sometimes, fortunately, we may come out of that with little bit of profit. But imagine a common man. Anywhere, how we can fulfill a dream of housing. So government has to come out with the policies and all that. This affordable housing, earlier it was like 60 square meters in I2 cities and 90 square meters in the metros and all that. But that has to be increased. Now the dependents, the families have increased, and everyone want to go for a bigger house. And the cap of 45 lakhs is also not going to help it out. So this is where central government has to look into. And state government, we need actually the supporting of the system and all that, where land availability is a much need of us. Where affordable housing or any requirement can be fulfilled. We have the ring road around 160 kilometers. There they can identify some land bank. We can provide with subsidy rates, not because of the fee also. They can provide land for us, and entire industry is ready to, maybe not to some extent, maybe not viable to some extent, but still to make it happen, we may come out with affordable housing and all that. That is going to the future, coming years, 70% of the requirement is the need-based or mid-segment. This is the
impact on the environment. While we are at the end of the queue in creating this trouble, but the countries like us are having more impact. While still we have not reached our goal, we are already getting that. So that is where we are having this middle-income countries, what to call, we are facing. So we need to balance development, but at the same time see something to do with environmental impact, what we create. And Shekar, you have been associated with Green Movement for long. Of course, each one of you have been doing projects where these are certified. But if you see something, there seems to be a certain kind of a minimum, awareness and the measures being taken. But many times it looks like we are not moving from that minimum required thing, some innovation, some new things coming. I was speaking to someone, they told it's a solar-based air conditioning they have developed. So maybe some people are not at all getting any water from anywhere, they are recycling within that. But small areas here and there pockets happening. But what do you see that where is this the movement at a scale, the impact at a scale is can happen? Where the carbon footprint and development process can become sustainable as well. In 2-3 minutes, please.
Yeah, I am proud to say that now India stands in second position as per the global green footprint is registered. 12 billion square foot is registered with, 11 billion square foot is registered with IGBC. Is the recent the data. We are the second largest, consisting of 12,000 odd projects across the country. And maybe in near future we will be the global leaders. And we have developed about 32 ratings in India. Many countries have only few ratings. And 20 years back, we had no green product. Today, we are certified, IGBC has certified about 8,000 products as a green products. It's called Green Pro in collaboration with the international certifying agencies. About 95% of the products, building material are available in green now today. At Hyderabad, Telangana, we have about 800 projects, about 1.13 billion square foot registered with us, and we are doing extremely well. And all the state government buildings are also, they are taking the ratings, and they have MOU with them. And recently, constructed our secretariat building got a rating. Our command control, a prestigious project got a rating. IT towers in tier 2 towns also got IT rating. Many of the IT companies, they have taken rating, and large developers in
But if I may interrupt you there, what government can do when they come up with, because generally still in India we see budget as one of the big policy, everything they consolidate. If government were to be working on the budget proposals, what could be one or two things that will encourage more people to jump the wagon of sustainability?
Some of the state governments are giving a huge incentives in terms of FSI. Suppose the Kolkata is giving additional FSI. So there are almost many of the people who are going for the rating, and some other states also giving. Some people are giving. Some states are giving by way of the building permission charges, concessions, property tax concession. But overall, I can say, in a healthy competition, the developers have to do this. Maybe if they are if all the states come forward and they give incentive to developer, is good. Or at least they should encourage the prospective purchaser by giving incentive like a property tax exemption or a water tariff exemption, some concession or power concession, and also the interest concession in the home loans. If they can extend, really it will tilt entire thing. And in fact, we have been talking to our own CREDAI, the office bearers. I proposed the proposal. There has to be some differentiation between a CREDAI member and non-member. We have four certifications level: platinum, gold, silver, and certification. Let all the members of CREDAI take certification level, mandatory. And similarly, we discussed with the state government at the certification level, at a certain level of projects, about 50,000 square foot or about 1 lakh square foot projects, make it mandatory. Because our state is in the forefront in ECBC. Cool roof policy, the mandate of the first state to mandate it, and many of our green features are incorporated in the building bylaws, and in the building bylaws also we conveniently in 2006 incorporated certain elements to satisfy Vastu. And when you are satisfying Vastu, it also satisfying the norms of the green building, that is called daylight in every room. And also the free air circulation. If you see, you can experience the Hyderabad apartments, particularly all multi-story apartment. 3 sides are open in every flat. 3 sides, right? So there is no temperature, either side temperature. Always there is a cool atmosphere inside the apartments. Your consumption of air conditioning is less. Similarly, all developers here. We are going for landscaping. Many green features are there. I just take half a minute. Now and then, all the international days we are conducting a Green Crusaders events. Each day, I think nowhere in the global is happening. 55 projects, 80 projects in single day they are registered. That is the greatest achievement. To add that another thing, first of its kind globally, we have done recently a property show for only IGBC pre-certified and certified projects, and also green material, that is green pro material and services. It was a grand success. and people are looking for a next show. We are coming with them in May. And across the country, major cities are looking for such a property show. And it's now we are creating a lot of awareness in different forums. And this show is also to keep our crusaders, developer crusaders, we want to tell the society they are above, that they are doing good thing for the nature and the next generation. And also we want to make sustainability, green buildings as a household name. For that purpose, we have taken up this, and it's a grand success. The Koncept policy, the government has made mandatory in Telangana. So that is also adding, and most of the people are going for solar. All the features people are going, and if you start before starting of the project, if you consult the cost will come down. It is not hardly 1 to 2%. Certification is almost zero.
Actually, as an independent area, green building has developed a lot. But Ramky Group particularly also has been working on sustainability side, waste avoidance, waste recycling. Is there anything, the rough edges there, which as a policy level, do you believe that can encourage more of a recycling and waste avoidance in the overall?
Absolutely. Like for example, we are now using the construction and demolition waste to produce building materials and which are being used like aggregates. We are producing tiles and all that, which is currently being used. So I think incentives are something for this kind of
incentives.
Yeah, that's right. It's not being given currently. I think this is where these are the areas where you need to give incentives for these kind of recycling activities. So same way, I think as Shekar sir was mentioning, I just read that 39% of carbon emissions are coming from real estate sector, either directly or indirectly. So which I think is substantial and huge. So I think more encouragement should be given to real estate sector to reduce the carbon emissions. And I think these kind of so we are doing these kind of activities. We're also, I think now you can see STPs and recycling of water and all these things have become a common aspect in our building bylaws also, and so recharge pits and all that. So while these are being done, I think we need to have a much higher level of involvement and the scale of operations for these things to become really viable. So those facilitating factors are something which are missing, which I think we should encourage more and more, and that has to come from the government. I mean, you see, to make these things viable, whatever materials we are now producing from this construction and demolition waste, I think for it to really become viable, we need to have the volumes, and we need to have this logistical support as well, which today is missing.
Correct. And
add to him, when everybody should know, from construction demolition material, they are producing material in the dump yard, they constructed a building with all the recycled material.
correct.
Totally recycled material, the constructed building.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think these are kind of things, but we are in the early days of these kind of initiatives, and I think the more and more incentives and support the government provides, I'm sure we will see a lot more activities happening in these areas.
Small and medium entrepreneurs can take this as a venture to recycle and do. And when they, even government come up with some kind of a model houses or models where in different areas to demonstrate the sustainable technologies, or more than technologies, I would say methods, and to create some real life examples, real models. Small house, how you can avoid, like security control, how you can provide a cross ventilation. Today, more and more people want air conditioning. We are looking at more that side of the thing, rather how you can, with appropriate technologies, low cost technologies, how you can still have a comfortable place. Recently I was speaking to an architect who said, give me any house, I will reduce the overall heat gain factor by doing certain measures in this, how shading you do, how plantation can be done. So there are many areas where government come up with certain things, and there are people looking to set up small units, small and medium entrepreneurs. In fact, they are looking for this kind of guidance and over. She's time up. Probably, do you have any time for one or two questions, if anything, if audience have? organizers.
Before you conclude, no,
Yes,
I
sir.
would request you to give, I'll just add one more point to my friend Nanda Kishore on the green building and encouragement. At the moment, what's happening in the industry? That it's either the real estate developers or the consumer are taking the bank of increasing the cost of doing sustainable building. It is a beyond doubt that if we really want to do sustainable building, it will not be cost effective. It has to be more costly, which is known to every one of us. And government is absolutely overlooking the whole thing. If government of India is serious about the climate change issues, which our leaders are vocal on the making statement, but in real terms, they must come forward to give direct incentives to the sector, and that incentive should be absolutely visible, and they should help in reducing the cost in direct manner. Then only there can be a momentum and sustainability can be a movement, not otherwise.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you for that. It's a very important point, in fact. As such, we are a cost-conscious society. Are there any questions? One or two, please. Yeah. Can someone give the mic there? Sir, please, direct question, quick.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Kuldeep Chawla. Direct question is, will standardization of all finishing items, right, by the government aid the point that was just last made, which is around sustainability? Because at the end of the day, will standardization not help? Can we move, before we do anything else, can we standardize things?
Would you like to take?
In fact, the standardization of windows and doors, when we are manufacturing in a large scale, like IKEA, if you off the shelf you are purchasing, and the cost will come down. The cost of the material will come down. They produce millions of pieces. One is cost will come down, quality will improve. In America, the standard product is available at a normal price, but when you want the special size, it will cost you more, 3 times. So I think this item has been discussed for the last several years, but the industry, the architects, they asked to come together, and because every developer want in India want to showcase his own project in a different way, I think the CREDAI should take a initiative in this, and we can do it and reduce the price minimum by 10 to 15%. All the products, if you standardize, it can be purchased anywhere. So that's on the shelf or online. I think that will really improve the quality and the cost will come down. In fact, we thought of doing it earlier. We thought of buying the bulk, even the lifts also 10,000, 15,000, one single tender for all CREDAI members. So we had many plans, but it takes time to come to that level. Will come one day. One day we'll come to that.
Thank you. Yeah, very important. Yeah, very important point. Anything else, please?
We're taking one last question. If the audience have any, please raise your hand.
Before they raise your hand, thank you, Agrawall Bhattaji, for organizing this, and also entire your team. Thank you very much for our side.
Thank you very much. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you very much to our moderator and our panelists. Can we have a thunder round of applause for the gentlemen, please? I request all of you to kindly stay back with us, as I would like to invite Mr. Anuj Kapoor, founder, MD, Advisory, to kindly come and take over the stage and present the token of gesture, token of appreciation to all our panelists and our moderator.